Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I do want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. They want to the apostles, and else great millstone for teaching this truth, peace, and blessings to the whole village of Israel. Yahweh's the name of the Heavenly Father, Hebrew, Ba'ashem's name, Yahweh Shai is the name of the begotten Son, back in the lesson. As you see within the title, women are lonely. I'm also going to put hashtag Isaiah 4:1 because that's what you are getting ready to see unfold and take place. Where soon you will have 7 women shall take hold of one man. And they're going to show that scarcity as well as how well desired the man, specifically the man of the Lord, is going to be. Because as you can see throughout these 2 videos that I got, you have these women voicing their complaints of how hard it is to find a good man, or a man in general. So thought I'd make a lesson going into it. I also one of the brothers make a lesson a couple days ago, pretty much speaking on something similar. And also had these videos saved for a little minute now.
No, because why is it so hard to get a boyfriend?
Dive into it.
I'm gonna turn 21 next month, and
let's dive into it.
I still haven't ever dated before. Not that I'm male-centered or anything. They're like, oh my god,
And really, a lot of these women are being, saved for, the men of the Lord. Let's also get that scripture too, which just came to mind, is saved through childbearing.
I want a boyfriend so badly, but it's just, damn, I really didn't think.
See, and this is going to be, more amplified as we continue to progress the light entities and days. So these women that are especially wanting to push and promote this feminist, Miss Independent ideology, spirit, they're going to be humbled. And really those are going to be the same ones begging and crying, for a man in these last days. Because you're going to see how chaotic it's going to get out here. And as you get throughout the scriptures, the men of the Lord are going to be that hiding place. Just as the Lord is for us, we're going to be that to these women. Showing the Lord to a world of that, hopeful elect. Because once you get in Isaiah 4:1, it goes to how 7 women, which that number 7 goes to the word completion. So, it could be any amount. And it's just so take hold of one man. It's not the other way around. So just going to show just how sought out after the man, more specifically the man of the Lord, is going to be.
That it would take this long.
Her complaints.
But yeah.
How much he desires.
I'm also just kind of bored with my life, so I feel like it would be nice to have one. Just to see what the hype is about. No, because
But as soon as that's not, could be something they're going to be worrying about. And speaking of these, sincere, women out here, not these loudmouth, obnoxious, freaks, if you want to say. Because this right here looks like a kind, tender, woman. I mean, you hear her voice. That's something, a man, would, pick up if you came across. For lack of better words. Because you like them today, love to be loud, and you know how the woman gets. I'm saying she looks like the submissive, type. But let's also get this other video, because when there's multiple women, voicing their complaints. I believe you also see even other videos, women, crying.
We be at a function like this. I'm talking about overly
down, find a man, this and that. Listen, you want. And you can also look at this in another way, where you have a lot of these women, a lot of these men not want to deal with a lot of these women, especially with the spirit that they're walking in today, rebellious, out of order, not wanting to listen. Because he was in all these relationships, when the man puts his foot down, all of a sudden it's toxic masculinity, you're too controlling, you're this, you're that, insecure, all these various things. Especially just with the various things women say in general. You know, that they don't need a man. The man is useless. The man is not needed. So there's also another reason why you're seeing it hard for a lot of these women to find you a man, especially a good one. You have a lot of women that voice complaints of, men are crap. There's no good men out here. Well, you get scripted a wicked woman for a wicked man. You wonder why that's all you can find. You know? And once it comes to that stage, the men of the Lord, the elect, are going to have that authority, that choice to whether accept you in their fold or not. And guess what? A lot of you women are going to be rejected, man. Because you didn't want us then, you're not going to have us now. Because you always see within these movies or an anime, dealing with the come up story, where they're on the bottom, the lowest point, but now when they're at their peak, the top, now everybody wants to get in good with them. And that's going to be a lot of these women trying to get in good with the men of the Lord. But it's also how you're going to see Isaiah 4:1 take place is, the men of the Lord are going to have that spiritual power. So remember, they're going to be able to read your mind, see the inward thought. Whether you're sincere, what's your true intentions, Because that's also another point. How do you think, those men will be able to defend, their house, as well as the various women that are going to be with them, especially in the midst of that, chaos. Obviously, the Lord before miracles, but also going to be defending spiritual power. And we hope and pray that we're off that number. But aside from kind of rambling, but to get this video out the way, just wanted to add that other.
You gotta function like this. I'm talking about.
Where you have a lot of these men avoiding these women.
Overly loaded and niggas still won't walk up and talk to nobody. Like, what the fuck you? Oh shit, he giving me a tripod, y'all. Like, what the fuck you came here for? Just not to talk to nobody?
It really is because of these damn.
And really, you can just see her attitude. Nobody want to deal with that, But I guess you also have these sincere women out here that may not have a man. They're looking to find one.
Bro, you gotta understand, social media, enough viral videos have gone around that men now see that the worst thing she can say is not no. She can say a lot worse things than no.
Nothing pisses me off more than when a man that looks like the shit on the bottom of my shoe is like, hey, can I take you out? Nothing pisses me off more than when a man that looks like the shit on the bottom of my shoe is like, hey, can I take you out?
See, and these are the women that think they're the prize, that they're the reward, that they are the pinnacle of everything. Hey, that pride is going to be shattered, man. And when you see these sincere, humble, fearful women getting selected and you getting rejected,
And
they're going to taste that humble pie. And they're going to realize, they're not, on top of the pecking order per se. Because this is what's instilled into them via music, movies, shows, and all these various things that are being said regarding these women.
she can do a lot worse things than no. The worst thing she can do is screenshot the messages of you trying to shoot your shot after she rejects you and then post it for all the followers to see. The worst thing she can do is make a TikTok story talking about how some creepy dude walked up to her and the whole time it's just an awkward man who she did not find attractive. We've grown up watching story times where women are shitting on men who try to come up to them, bro. But now it's like the worst thing she can say is worse than no, way worse than no, and she can do a lot worse than saying no. And that fear has kept up.
No, because
But that's the point. I don't see what these comments are saying right here. She tried 30, never had a boyfriend. 25, never had a boyfriend. So you see a lot of these women are lonely. And as you're especially having talks of there being boots on the ground, a draft, get ready to be put into play in action. That's going to be even more prominent of a scarcity and lack of men. So as we're going to see, the men of the Lord especially be heavily desired. But now we're going to get throughout these scriptures. Isaiah 4:1. And it says, in that day, 7 women shall take hold of 1 man. So that number 7, once again, goes into that word completion. So it could be, any amount, way more than 7, Shall take hold of 1 man, saying, well, we are on bread and wear on apparel. And only let's be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So then be seeking for a man, not the men seeking out the women. Just to, cut that BS independent spirit these women are walking in. The men are the prize. Isaiah 13, going to, the men is more precious than fine gold, which I also get. Actually, I can pull up after this right here. Isaiah 13. I want to say Isaiah 13:12. So Isaiah 13:12 says, I'll make a man more precious than fine gold. You see how well desired, gold is today. So it's going to show just how the value, of the man is going to skyrocket. Even a man in the golden wedge of Ophir. Or Ophir. But Isaiah 32:2 further establishing that point of the men being that hiding place. It says, and a man should be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. And you see within these movies where you have someone in the desert, or you see within cartoons, that they are so thirsty that they begin to hallucinate water. It's so hot they begin to hallucinate shade or desire shade to keep them from the heat. So it's going to show how well desired once again the man is going to be, and specifically once again the man of the Lord. And one more time from my top, and a man should be as a hiding place from the wind and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So it's going to show how precious the man's going to be, once again, especially dealing with that scarcity of them. As we're going to further read 2 Ezra 16:28, and which I made a lesson speaking on it, as well as Buzz made lessons diving into. We had someone receive a vision, of there being a lack of men. And I believe in the dream he was pretty much in the midst of war, or of there being a war. And you had people being drafted, so you see lack of men, and there obviously being a higher number of women than men. So 2 Ezra 16:28 says, for of a city there should be 10 left, and 2 of a field which shall hide themselves in thick groves in the clefts of the rocks. And I always like to use the example of the movie I Am Legend. And I got this right here just to add on to that point, that dream that one dude had. As verse 27 actually says, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For of a city there should be 10 left, and 2 of a field which shall hide themselves in thick groves in the clefts of the rocks. So especially going to show, the dark times, that we're coming into, these apocalyptic, type of times. So that prideful, independent, feminist spirit these women are walking in is going to be thrown out the window, which you always see within a lot of these situations where women are in trouble or in a jam. And they're always quick to drop that act and act all, kind, soft, tender, womanly, And they're going to drop much in that hard, tough act real quick, especially in the midst of chaos. Now, 2 Ezra 16:38 says, the virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. So, further establishing that point, there being a scarcity, of men. And why the man's going to be so desired, so sought out after, for protection, for sanctuary, So you women better get with the program. You see women today always make out, these women being for, being a pick-me's. Hey, there's no problem being a pick-me. Hey, we're pick-me's for Yahweh Ba'ashem Al Shai. We want to be saved. We want to be chosen. But you see how that's especially portrayed. You actually have these women that will get on other women for wanting to get with the man and wanting to be, submissive and loyal to the man. They look at that as a problem. You see how out of order, how out of whack this place is. But as we further read one more time, the virgin shall mourn having no bridegrooms, the woman shall mourn having no husbands, their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. To end the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. And you see a war is getting ready to unfold, as we were seeing. And which means you're having talks of being their boots on ground. So you have a lot of men be drafted out of here. So Amos 8:11-12. And it said, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water, but hearing the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Al Shai. So, of course, there will be a literal famine, but this right here is going to the famine, hearing this word, this truth. And they shall run from the sea to sea, from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, and shall not find it. So, this word, further answer that point, just there's a value, of the man, and specifically the man of the Lord, because right here is going to this truth, this knowledge, this understanding, which the men of the Lord have. So you're gonna have people trying to seek out the prophets, the men of the Lord that taught and have this truth. Especially these women trying to get all goody, and close to the men of the Lord. And like I made that point, a lot of you women are going to be rejected. Brought up that point. You didn't want this done, you're not going to have this now. And guess what? The elect of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai are going to have that choice. That authority to do so. This Ecclesiastes 26:23 says, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. And as I made that point earlier, you can also, look at this in another way why you have a lot of these men not wanting to get with these women today, not wanting to deal with these problems that you see that will come up from being within these relationships, falsely accused and all these various things, and especially with all the things these women have been saying regarding the men. It's no wonder. Because you also have these women that will say, they can't find a good man, all the men they've been with are terrible and bad to them, and you wonder why. It says, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. So these are these sincere, humble, submissive, fearful women. These are the ones that are going to be selected, given to a good man. This is 1 Timothy 2:15. It's one I got earlier, or I didn't get to read, but got this earlier. It says, 1 Timothy 2:15 says, notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing. As you saw within the comment, you had women listing their age and that they haven't been with this, a man their whole life. One said 25, another one said 30. I bet there was, other ones, listing their age, saying that they haven't been with a man at all. So all these women are being, preserved, really. So notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. See if I missed anything. No, that's that. That's the point right there. Like I said, I had those videos saved for a little while now. Thought I'd make a lesson, speaking on it, going into it, because it's something that you are going to see become a lot more evident. But you have a lot of people, a lot of these women, voicing their complaints of being single for how long, and what the man, desiring the man. And very soon you're going to see Isaiah 4:1, take place. Men having, a lot of women. Women seeking out the men of the Lord, the prophets. But that's the point right there. And as I made that point earlier, you women better get with the program or go and kick rocks. But those was edifying. Those tight points together.